see if we can get this possibly one shot. Got Namjoon here. We're ready to roll. Okay. Okay. Alright. So, hello. How are you today?
Well, just, you pulled me out of bed, so I'm a little sleepy, but you know what? I'm pretty excited.
I apologize for that, but you know what? I'm very happy and thankful you're here to be part of this interview with me. So, okay. I want to give you a chance to introduce yourself. Who are you? What is your name? What do you do for work? And what is your hobby?
So, my name is Milana Jensen. I am her big sister, and I work at a cafe as a barista, a chef, and a whole salesperson. Make lots of sandwiches, lots of salads, and besides working a lot, I do enjoy hula hoop dancing as a hobby, and I like to write. Love writing.
Wow, lots of hobbies and lots of working. You're a workaholic. So how long, just going off of what you told me about dancing, how long have you been dancing? And how old were you when you started dancing?
So I know I started back in definitely New Year's around that time of 2015. So I was 15 years old, just turned 15, and I think I've been doing it for about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10 years now.
Oh my gosh, wow. We have to have a celebration for that.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Okay. So what would you say dancing has done for you?
Well, when I was younger and in high school, it definitely motivated me to stay to be focused, concentrate, and to improve myself, not just like, emotional and personal, but like my body wise, like, being able to do certain movements that I never thought I could do before, and always, like, how do you say, surprising myself of what I can do. Yeah.
Really cool. So, do you put your, like, performances out there? Do you dance for the public?
I have this ideal now where, okay, when I was in high school, I really wanted to be in talent shows. I mean, even before high school, I had dreams like, oh, I want to be that main character where they have a special talent. They go into talent shows and then they, I don't know, gain some sort of respect from their audience. So I was so determined to quickly, I'm going to take Namjoon from you. Namjoon, everyone. I was so determined to, like, put a talent together so I can one day get some sort of skill and perform for others. So that year, it took me 3 months and I quickly entered a talent show. But ever since then, I wanted to improve on that skill and just keep building it up. What was the question again?
Oh my gosh. What was the question? What did I ask? Do you dance for the public? Like, how do you put your skills out there?
Oh, right. Okay. So that's where I developed the mentality where after I couldn't do any more talent shows because I graduated from high school, I decided to make the world my stage. So wherever there's music playing or there's a crowd of people and there's just that excitement in me, like a big pull on my heart where I'm like, oh, I can't sit still. I have to go and I have to go dance. Whether it's like, for, as a performance or for myself, or especially since, we're Christian, especially for God, I want to perform for God. So it's not just performing for other people, but it's also performing in his eyes and showing like, you know, the gifts that he gave me. So that's what I really enjoy. So I would be like in the middle of a park with nobody around, and I'll be dancing my heart out, or, you know, trying to get a good workout. But I would mostly say it's not just for people, it's for myself and for God.
Well, wonderful. Okay. So in also making the world your audience, does that also include social media? Do you put videos on social media of your dancing?
Yes, I do. I try dissecting like what exactly I'm looking for when it comes to making content and videos. So I got a lot of inspiration from Phantom of the Opera, Mirror Mask, Zorro, and some other movies out there that have that sense of mystery in it. I really want to make videos that have like what you can imagine that I could be in. I like to dress up as characters too. So there's a sense of mystery, like, where is she at? Where do you find these places? I really want that kind of content, but it hasn't really happened yet. But all I'm trying to do is get more ideas for movements. What was the question again?
So do you put content, like, do you make videos to put on social media, pretty much? Basically,
yes, I do. I really like posting videos on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I don't know if you remember when you were in high school, I really post a lot of TikTok videos, and when I went to go pick you up, Musically at the time, I went to go pick you up, and a lot of your classmates knew who I was.
Yes.
That was really cool.
Oh my goodness. So so the videos you put out there on social media, they also consist of like various other items. You said you danced with hoops, but I've also seen you dance with fans, and I believe they're called poise. So why do you like dancing with these kinds of items?
I like to think of it more as Avatar Last Airbender. So you know how there's different elements that they use in the characters. So there's like earth, water, fire, air. I like to think of those things as like tools or instruments for dancing. So I like to pretend that maybe that the fans are wind, the hula hoop can be fire, and then the poi can be water. So I definitely like to make that imagination work in your mind to make it look like it's some sort of element ability or like a power. Mm-hmm. So I really enjoy using all of those instruments and, you know, bringing it up to your imagination to see what I can do, especially the hula hoops. They're like illusions. And then the fans, of course, they're like wind, but they make such beautiful effects in the air. Very hard on a windy day, so I have to be inside. And then the poi just makes it feel like I have, I don't know, just, of course, water dancing around me, which is my biggest fantasy. I love pretending that I have water dancing around me, or I'm dancing on top of water. So there's just the beauty in all of those tools that I use for dancing.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. What item do you prefer dancing with?
Oh, that's a really tough one. Okay. When I go outside, I think my thing to grab would definitely be the hula hoops. I never go anywhere without my hula hoops. During a wedding, I had my hula hoops. On vacation, I had my hula hoops. To church, I had my hula hoops.
And so I wanted to ask, like, is that also like your best, like, I guess skill, like, within the hula hoops, or like, is it better in terms of like going through weather? Because you mentioned that poise you have to be careful for windy weather. Is that also the same with fans too?
Oh gosh. Yeah, the fans and the wind, they have a mind of their own. They don't want to listen. So it would be almost impossible to dance with the fans in a very like windy condition. Hula hoops, it is somewhat the same, but I have a bit more control with it. And then the poi, forget it. Forget it.
Oh my goodness. I also wanted to get, I think we kind of covered this. What is your inspiration for dancing? But also wanted to add on, by chance, was choosing dancing inspired by your culture? Or was it by mostly social media? Like, what truly did inspire you to get more into this form of like dancing?
Ever since I was a kid, I had big dreams of one day becoming a dancer. And I remember like wanting to try ballet, but of course we couldn't afford those dance lessons. So we checked out like videos from the library, the public library, to try some tutorials. And ballet it hurt. I cried. I tried doing those stretches and I cried. But I still had those big dreams. And when we went to go see our brother do football games and we saw the dance line, I was like, oh, Mom, I want to join that. So we tried, when I finally got into high school, we tried getting me into a dance line. But it's very pricey. You have to be so dedicated and you have to have good grades and you have to pay a lot of money and go into fundraisers. And it was too much for us at the time. So I thought, and also I had flat feet, which would really affect my abilities to dance. At least that's what they made me think. So I was really sad being a 15-year-old who was nowhere near starting. And at that point, people kept saying, oh, you're too old to start. And I was like really sad. But then I saw this one tool in the backyard and it was a hula hoop. And I was like, I thought I saw somebody dance with it. So I looked up some videos and I saw people dancing with the hula hoops. And then I remember, we went to powwows and there were hula hoop dances there. It's a combination of almost everything. So you know how you listen to a story, then you get inspiration from it. Like you have your own imagination of that certain story and then you combine another story together. That's how basically it was for me with, cultural wise, and then watching other like moderations of other people dancing at raves. But most importantly, Lindsay Sterling.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. My love for Lindsay Sterling and my obsession with her music and her dancing. If she can dance with with a violin, I can try doing something with the hula hoop. Something I can do for myself and, make it into my own thing. So it was a combination of all of that, inspiration, and then just getting started. So that's pretty much like the inspiration and what was it in the question?
Yeah, like does culture, social media have to play a part into your just want motivation to do it?
Yeah, definitely everything I've seen and grew up on. It was what got me into hula hooping and all the other stuff.
Good stuff, good times. Just kidding. Oh my goodness. Okay. Ooh, where was I at? So, inspiration. Okay. Do people get confused about your dancing as being traditional hoop dancing? Have you ever had to explain yourself?
Definitely. Whenever I explain, okay, usually the conversations would go along the lines of like, oh, what do you like to do outside of work? Or what do you when people see me on trying to do practice, they're like, oh, are you a traditional hula hoop dancer? Every single time that question comes up, I do have to explain myself, because in my understanding that hula hoop dancing traditionally is very spiritual. It's a lot of skill too, and they are really making stories from the hula hoops, and it's definitely like more than one, and I can only do up to 2 hula hoops. I wish I could do more than 2, but yeah, that's just my max. And that's all I can get so far. I mean, that doesn't mean it's impossible. I could probably try, but I have to try to explain to people like this is the traditional hula hoop. I can't do that. I'm doing the modern hula hoop dancing, which is what a lot of other people internationally can do. So anybody from South Korea to Japan to like India or Europe and especially the U.S., they can do the modern hula hoop dancing, but not the traditional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add about your dancing career? I mean, a dancing journey, dancing story.
Making me sound a bit famous here.
I think you are, kind of. I got some people recognizing you.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
What with my schools?
Oh, yeah, definitely. School. And then, like, one time last year at the Coconut County Fair, this one little girl came up, running up to me. She's like, "Are you this person from TikTok?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And we got a picture together. It was so cute.
Oh, how sweet.
Do you remember that?
I don't actually. I was working.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were.
But anyways, anything else you want to add on?
Oh, just because I love this hobby and, I'm like, I believe I got some good skill from it. It's really tough to keep practicing and to keep at it because, I'm an adult now. Back when I was in high school, I had a lot of spare time before and after school to keep practicing. And if I would, if I didn't want to do homework, I would practice. But now being graduating from high school and having a job, trying to find the time to practice and the motivation, it is really hard. I wish I could do it, every single time I get off work, but I'm so tired from work. And then I got chores, I got errands, and I got a whole bunch of other things. So finding the time to keep up with it is definitely like what's really tough for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean I don't want to stop. I'm trying to improve, especially this year, because the years before that we had some family situations going on. But being blessed now with a house and home, I really wanted to take advantage of the time. And especially cosplaying with the dancing, I really want to take more advantage of the time that I have now to improve, getting more flexible, making more costumes, and being more creative with the hula hoop dancing. So hopefully in the future I get to make more of those projects.
Wish you the best of luck. Actually, best of us luck. Pray for us. Okay. So I want to kind of circle back to what you mentioned earlier when I asked you what you do for work. Mm-hmm. And you said you were a barista, you were like a cook and such. Mm-hmm. So would you by chance consider yourself still as a performer or performing when you're at work?
Oof, that's a really good question.
Do you want me to give you some suggestions?
Yes.
Okay. So some of these suggestions can be like you make yourself presentable, maybe doing your hair, making your clothes like clean, fresh, you're showering, or you are sociable with customers. Maybe you have a special voice or tone with your customers. That's only specific to customers, maybe not to your personal family.
Okay, I can't remember that whole list, but I think I got a solid idea. Okay, at work, I can't really express myself through clothing because I have to wear like a semi-uniform. I have to wear a t-shirt every day, so it's a bit tough wearing not my colors at work. I prefer like, pastels, and they're giving me these warm fall colors I don't really like, but you know what, that's fine. I do try to do some other cool things, keeping up with, makeup and, doing crazy things with my hair. I get lots of compliments on my hair. As for talking, I feel like that's improved since I was in high school. When you're young, when you're a teenager going into college, I feel we all have a certain way of talking that, we're sticking with the slang or sticking with the modern vocabulary with other people. For myself, I've always had a hard time understanding all of that. So when I didn't go to like, you know, college, and I didn't really work for a small amount of time of my life, I had this weird way of trying to talk, but then my throat would get stuck. But ever since working in customer service and talking to people consistently from all over the world, and working with coworkers and trying to talk to Karens, my way of talking to people, communicating with people, has definitely improved. I have this tone where I'm at work, when I'm at work, where it's a bit higher and a bit more comfortable. And then at home, it's just like, what do you want? One time when our sister was on the phone, I was saying, all right, you know, nice to talk to you. I will definitely get back to you on that, and hope you have a good day. And I'm like, hold up, was that my customer service voice? She's like, okay, bye. I was like, yeah, you too, have a good day. Wait a second. Sometimes I can sound fake by accident when it comes to the phone. Someone questioned me, like somebody I know in person. They're like, is this Milana? Yes, it is. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk to you in that way. That was just my customer service voice. But performing at work, I would say, is semi-performing, you know, in person, because I have to talk to people in a certain way, versus when I'm talking to you.
Hi, what's up?
What's up?
How you doing?
Yeah, whatever. Shut up.
The keys.
The keys. I'm sleeping.
Sorry. So, my last question here, which I actually want to share a definition that I found on Google, which says, performance is carried out, accomplished, or fulfilled. Do you perform for someone? Let me do that again. Can I redo that?
Yeah.
Okay. So my last question, I would like to share to it a definition I found on Google, which it says, performance is to carry out, accomplish, or fulfill. Do you have someone you are performing for? Is that still confusing?
A little bit, yeah.
Let me see if I can find a different definition.
Space out.
Okay. The definition on performing found on Google is saying that it is to carry out, accomplish, or fulfill, take action, task, or a function, pretty much to an audience, to execute it, to finish it. Do you by chance have anyone you're trying to perform for?
Got it.
If you want to, we can skip this question. It's kind of hard.
No. I'm thinking. Because, okay. Let's start from the top. Obviously, it's always for God, yes. But for person-wise,
it could be God.
It could be God. But, you know, he's always the one, like, you know, my Heavenly Father, who's always there for me, and no doubt I'm never going to disappoint him. And I know he's always going to show me a way. But when it comes to a person, I would say probably my nieces and my nephew. I'm always... It's really tough right now because the hobbies I'm doing is what I really enjoy. But to find a way for it to affect them for the future, that's the tough part. Because I really don't know if it will inspire them. I wanted to inspire them to open up their imaginations, find that wonder, and to find the creativity. Because I feel that the new generation, don't mean to sound old, but this generation of kids between the ages of 7 to 13, I feel like their imaginations are dying. Because yes, there's that whole iPad kids generation, but I just haven't seen much of, let's go and explore the forests and find fairies, and I just don't see that anymore. And I'm always watching my niece. Luckily, I helped her find this interest in Demon Slayer. She likes to climb trees, and she likes to take a book, and she likes to sit in the tree and just read out there. And I'm like sitting in the car just watching her. I'm like, all right, aesthetically pleasing girl. But from I'm not gonna say who, but one of my other nieces and nephews, all they do is just play video games. And I asked them, don't you have an imagination? Do you still like wander around and want to explore? And they said no, they don't have an interest. All they do after school is that they just go straight to bed, and they sleep all day until it's time for dinner. So if I were to find some sort of way to achieve like a goal with my hobbies, is to help kids find that wonder. Kind of reminds me of Rise of the Guardians a little bit, how they help the children and all that. Mm-hmm. So not just children, but maybe adults as well. Do I know how to accomplish that? I have no idea. It's just a wish and a dream.
Well, yeah, that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for answering them, and most of all, being here with me tonight with this interview. Thank you. Also, do you want to promote your Instagram or social media?
Yeah, sure. It's pretty complicated, but actually I'm in the middle of maybe changing the username to something else. And I know TikTok is dying by, September, because, it's being banned, but
do what we can.
Do whatever I can. So my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube are both Lightning Gem. So Lightning and then Gem, Jem. So find me. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Oh, yeah.
Finally sleep.
I have to wake up at 7 o'clock. Or
It's
6 o'clock.
Midnight. Go.
Oh, shoot.